Even if Borealis doesn't get along anymore, surely they can't refuse reuniting for a purpose such as this.
But do they even remember the song?
Good point. You two should leave, by the way. I'll see if I can contact Cody or Cornelia, okay?
Yeah, good luck. As you exit the gym building, you spot Isaac, who seems to be fending off some Paragon Knights. His Chalava is fighting against a loose deed, but the Chalava is defeated by a Mega Kick.
Ha-ha! I regain my lost pride! Onwards, lost deed!
Hi guys. Could you not hold that loss against me? I've kind of had a rough time without you. These Paragon Knights wouldn't stop harassing me. And I was never strong enough to beat any of them. Anyway, I did find out some information. The Knights are looking for the medallions that were used to control Valiquish. It said if those things had the power to wake it up, or put it back to rest.
Yeah, we kind of already knew that. Cecil told us.
I see. Anyway, do you guys want to keep looking for those scraps? I'm just saying, it would be funny if how the plan works out first.
You suddenly frown as you remember something. Don't you remember what she told you? Emmet, you zoned out for a second. Is everything okay?
Huh? Sorry, I didn't realize. I was just thinking about the medallions. They reminded me of something. It's not important, though.
Come on, guys. We need to keep going.
And keep on going you must. The three of you, now reunited, head towards the location of your next gym challenge, down Route 6 and towards the city of Lasaf. Isaac and Audrey seem determined to head straight towards the gym in the city, so you follow their lead into the nearby museum. Inside of the museum, you can see many art installations and sculptures, featuring both people and Pokemon. Many info boards are scattered around the display area, but your eyes land on a familiar individual who you see is inspecting one of these said boards. You separate off from Isaac and Audrey in order to talk to them.
Hello. It's funny how we keep running into each other. Are you interested in this museum too? I could show you my favorite exhibit.
You agree to this and Tristan smiles before moving aside to let you read the board you were inspecting. It's a sketch of a man with an unfamiliar Pokemon by his side.
So the story goes like this. There was once a traveling poet by the name of Linus Brook, who decided to journey throughout the Delwith region around 70 years ago in hopes of finding inspiration for his next work. He traveled the region for almost 2 years without any luck, and was losing hope that he would ever find the inspiration he was searching for. He decided to travel towards the capital city to ask the current king, Eric Aviz, for advice, knowing of his kindness and generosity. But Linus soon came across his first bout of bad luck. The king was murdered by an unknown assailant whilst away for foreign affairs, leaving the Delwith region in disarray. Linus had just so happened to reach Sargass a few days after the news broke, and as a newcomer to the panicked city, suspicions immediately arose against him. Despite him trying to explain why he was in the city and how it was merely a coincidence, he was arrested and taken in for questioning. He was offered a council with the old king's only remaining heir, the prince and future king of the region, Fabio. Linus pleaded for his innocence, and refused to go quietly. And Parmony would show me mercy. In fact, she'd give me a sign right now to prove that I'm not guilty. The prince laughed at this in disbelief, before deciding to sentence the innocent man to death. However, right before Linus was due to be executed, the cry of a rooster rung out twice throughout the area, before, in a flash of light, a strange Pokemon appeared in front of Linus, and immediately moved to protect him from the guards escorting him. The Pokemon exhibited mythical powers that were only ever associated with those of legends, and the prince, watching this event in disbelief, had no other choice but to pardon Linus's life. Linus then continued his travel for inspiration, this time with a new friend by his side, a Pokemon that he ended up naming Celestefowl. And, that's the story. Interesting, right? They say the mythical Celestefowl still watches over the region to this day. It's said that he has the power to save people from near death, meaning that he needs to, be quick about doing the whole revival thing. Either way, I don't think he trusts humans too much, especially after Linus was killed.
I thought he escaped his execution.
Ah, no, not that. You've heard about the events of 50 years ago, right? Valiquish awoke, and in the ensuing destruction, Celeste Fowl couldn't save Linus in time. That's, when he died. And probably why nobody's seen Celeste Fowl since then. He lost one of his only friends.
One of?
Ah, yeah, there's an old story that says...
Emmet, are you done? We're waiting on you.
Sorry. I got a bit carried away. You go with your friend, Emmet, and we can continue this conversation later, okay?
So, Emmet, there's a lot of history in this museum. So, me and Audrey have been looking around for any clues of how to, stop Valiquish.
We've only found one thing of interest, though. This picture. Audrey leads you towards one of the boards, pointing out a grainy picture of some kind of statue that depicts a scorpion-like Pokemon with one eye.
We asked the museum staff, and they said nobody knows what that statue is supposed to be. But it's in this place called Valiant Tower. Valiant Tower is supposed to be some sort of safe house to hide from Valiquish. But I don't think we can fit an entire region in there.
Obviously.
But, yeah, this has been a dead end. You two take on the gym, okay? I'll ask around town.
On that note, Isaac departs, leaving you and Audrey alone. I'll stay here for a bit. Do you think Tristan will talk to me about some stuff? They seem like quite the fountain of knowledge. Fountains of knowledge. That starts to remind you of someone. That person that keeps following you. You shake off the thought and decide to take on Audrey's suggestion. Inside of the museum, there's a lift that leads to the Pokemon gym, and as you descend, you're blasted by a wave of heat and met by Gideon, who seems to be sweating.
Hi, future champ. Boy, it's hot in here. That's because the gym leader of Lezath, Spade Akuma, uses the scalding power fire types. Everyone here seems to love this heat, but honestly, I'm dying here, kid. Please hurry up so I can leave this hellhole.
You look down to see that you seem to be inside a volcano. A pit of magma sits at the bottom of the tall chasm, and in order to traverse to the centre, you have to follow the precarious rocky staircase down, battling hikers and backpackers who have braved the heat with their own fire-type Pokemon. Eventually, you make it to the bottom, but you're definitely starting to feel the same way Gideon was.
This is concerning. The rocks aren't supposed to look like this for another 100 years.
The gym leader, dressed in a high-vis jacket, is currently crouched down with a strange machine next to them, as a lampent helps them man the equipment.
Hey there. The name's Spade. If you can't tell, I love volcanoes. I'm a scientist that studies both their life cycles and the rock formations that the lava creates. If you want to hit up a hotspot after this, Caldera Cave is the next best place. Alright, let's get fired up, shall we?
Spade looks determined before dragging you into a Pokemon battle. As a geologist, Spade uses both fire and rock types. So on their team, they use an Oppa Flare, a Barbaracle, a Chandelure, and their ace, a Deraluga. Due to the intense heat of the magma surrounding the battlefield, the weather is constantly sunny, causing Spade to be quite difficult to defeat due to their resistance to water and their powered-up fire-type attacks. But eventually, you're able to come out on top.
Hey, congrats! You earned this, fair and square, kid. Hey, sorry if this sounds weird, but do we know each other?
I don't think so.
But your last name is Palm, right? Do you know Peter Palm? Him and me have some history is all. I don't think I've ever heard him talk about an Emmet in his family.
Peter is my grandfather.
Oh. You know, now that I look at you, I think I might know who you are now. Coral and Lars's kid, yeah? Could have sworn they had a different name. Hey, I know what that's like, Emmet. If you don't want anyone to know, your secret is safe with me. You've grown into a fine young man. I must have been 18 the last time I saw you. Tell your parents that your cousin Spade said hi, okay?
I will.
Something just happened. Come on.
The scene transitions to you and Spade now above ground, and the sight that stands before you is many levels of concerning. A crevice has opened up in the middle of town, and many of the townspeople are staring down into it, while volcanic ash emits from far below.
Stand back, everyone!
Spade pauses as they speak at the same time as someone else. A voice you're now begrudgingly familiar with. Prince Penasco.
The Paragon Knights are here to protect you! Stay away from the crevice!
Crevasse.
What are those lot doing now?
Something stupid, probably.
Hey, hang on a second. Penasco? What's all this talk about you protecting people?
Well,
Isaac's right, you've been nothing but a nuisance. What's really happening here, Team Paragon?
we're not Team Paragon. We're the Paragon Knights.
Hey, whoever you are, you're not welcome here in Lissath. Leave this situation to the professionals, Penasco.
And let people fall into crevices willy-nilly? I don't see any professionals around here, Gym Leader Spade. If we knew that the authorities would help, we would have contacted them.
Isn't Queen Claudia in charge of the authorities?
Wouldn't you say that something like this is usually the champion's job? The champion is supposed to be the hero of the region. But now Paragon has to do all of the work. What a pathetic excuse for one. That's Saphira.
Hey, don't talk about my mom like that.
You're really getting on my nerves. Emmet, come on. Let's teach this guy a lesson.
Guards!
Two Paragon Knights step forward, looking stern as they protect Penasco. You and Spade stand firm. A battle ensues. The two knights use a Clefable and Wigglytuff, and Spade uses their Barbaracle to assist you. After their defeat, the knights part to show Penasco, looking infuriated.
Empermony above, you guys are lousy! The region won't survive a second with you at its defense! Ugh, I guess I have to do everything myself.
Penasco steps forward, another knight jogging over to join his side. Spade gives you a quiet smirk before the next battle begins. Penasco uses his Ace Mr. Rhyme and a Slurper, and the knight by your side uses his Hogakiss and a Blissey. After those two are defeated, Penasco smiles slightly and stays quiet. And then... Boo! The Paragon Knights were supposed to win! I can't believe the nerve of those two! What kind of trainers would oppose Penasco?
Do you two hear that? This is the sole reason why opposers of Paragon never win. They all give up eventually. We're good people, so I wouldn't expect you to understand. Huh?
Don't let go! Everyone, evacuate! Now!
Your Highness! Don't panic! Gym Leader Spade, Paragon are here to help!
Stay out of this, Para. So, you've decided to finally be useful, huh? Alright. Everybody, pull!
You're not hurt, are you?
Yes. Thank you, Rachel.
So what was that about the professionals, Penasco?
My Queen Claudia told me not to worry about the earthquakes. She called them trivial, but I couldn't ignore how our citizens were in danger. So I rallied our knights, called ourselves Paragon, and these earthquakes really are serious. I could have died.
Hey, if you don't mind me interrupting, Your Highness, you and I ain't too different. We all want to make sure the region doesn't experience the same tragedies 50 years ago. So please, instead of assuming what help the Delos region needs, perhaps ask?
And as for my mom, you do make a fair point. I haven't heard anything from her. She should be the one keeping the people of Edelweiss calm. She's not even responded to my TV stunt. So that's why we're trying to find a solution. From two children of Borealis, we will stop Valiquish.
We swear on it!
Borealis. Huh. I should probably confess something. My name isn't actually Penasco. It's Jeremy.
Prince Jeremy, please, if neither your sister or my mother will help us, we need you. As the Prince of the Delos region, you're our last bastion of hope.
Alright. What do you need me to do?
We're looking for the remnants of Zanmora's song. If we can perform it, we might stop Valiquish. And we need the medallions too. You said you were looking for them already, right?
Yeah, but I think that Borealis still has them. Only one of the medallions is still in Edelweiss. The Star Medallion. I know because my sister has it. The Star Medallion has always been in the possession of Edelweiss's royal family.
I just had an idea. If Queen Claudia won't listen to you, then maybe she'll listen to me.
What makes you so sure?
Just trust me.
Spade, do you need any help?
Thanks for asking, 'cause I do. Could you help evacuate everyone? I could really use the manpower of your knights.
Ah, of course. You can leave it to Panasco and the Paragon Knights. Or I suppose Jeremy and the Paragon Knights.
You'll really need to explain that one to me. You three should get going. If you're looking for information on Valiquish, I think you should visit Valiant Tower. It all started there.
Oh, hey guys. Could I, come with you? I heard you wanted to go to Valiant Tower, and there's I've always been meaning to look at the place, so...
You want to investigate the tower? Why?
I mean, there's this, legend? It said that, Linus and Celestefowl met Zanmora once. Maybe in the tower, we could find out where Celestefowl is now. And then maybe you'll know where Zanmora is?
That's actually not too bad of an idea. Celestefowl is the traveler Pokemon, right? It must know its way around the region pretty well.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Does that mean that I get to come with you?
To traverse further up the mountain, the four of you have to pass through Caldera Cave, a chamber of the volcano that has flowing lava and hot geysers scattered through, plus the many fire and rock types that call this place home. Your party wanders off to catch some of the wild Pokemon here, whilst you, perhaps, find an abandoned camera, with a piece of slightly charred paper attached to the lens cap. It says, when you're so far across the sea. You also obtained the lost camera. It's labelled with the name Gideon. Perhaps you should return this. As the four of you reconvene and exit the cave, the warmth of the volcano quickly fades into freezing bitter cold as you reach the snowy peaks of Zamidi Mountain. Tristan and Audrey are already shivering, whilst Isaac seems to be dealing with it just fine.
And this is why I brought a coat.
Shut up, Isaac. On the horizon, you spot a small town. On the top of the mountain? Weird. This doesn't seem to be the tower, though. Instead, it looks rather abandoned, and all of the houses are caked in snow. It looked peaceful if it wasn't for the eerie fog lingering over the place. Let's, split up and search this place. Something's not right here. Isaac, you go with Emmet.
Me? With him? Okay. Well, let's check out one of the houses.
Isaac takes the lead as he approaches one of the frozen-over houses, and he attempts to push the door open. After a few attempts, the door gives way, but you're caught off guard by the appearance of a sleeping wolf-like Pokemon. Isaac looks confused as he brings out his Rotom phone.
Treehound, the Omen Pokemon, a dark type. It is said to appear in front of those who have witnessed death, or those who are about to. They have been shunned as bad omens for decades.
I don't like the sound of that. You know the Pokédex lies a lot. Experiencing death? That's, not gonna happen.
You look around the area again. One of the houses now has a light on. As the two of you enter the lone house, you're hit by the sweet smell of hot chocolate. A roaring fire is lit in the fireplace, and you spot an elderly couple sitting down on the sofas. You notice that Tristan and Audrey are already enjoying the warmth. Oh, you must be friends with these two. I hope the mountain wasn't too cold. Here, why don't you have some hot chocolate? It just finished warming up.
And it tastes amazing too.
Yep. Thanks, Dillison Boyce.
Are you two the only ones here? What, happened?
Well, it's not very pretty. Do you know of a Pokemon named Guy Frost? They're pretty common around these parts. Unfortunately, they could get a bit aggressive and rowdy when Zanmora's around.
Zanmora? What do you know about her? Back when Zamidi Town was first built, it was sunny and full of all sorts of life. That was until 10 years ago. There was something like a screech or a wail. Zamora's voice caused an avalanche, cursing this place with an eternal winter. The Guy Frost around here wanted to try and evacuate the humans, not harm them, but all we saw was some scary-looking Pokemon circling our town and attacking our homes.
But why was Zanmora here in the first place?
That is something the gym leader here should enlighten you to.
Gym leader? Where?
I suppose you've heard of Valiant Tower. That's where the gym leader likes to spend most of his time. Due to the town being destroyed, he, never got the chance to have a proper building for his gym.
Alright, count me in. Off to Valiant Tower we go.
This kind of thing is reminding me of what happened in Paldea a few years ago. There were these 4 trainers looking for treasure. Actually, it's kind of nothing like that.
Before you go, show this to Raphael. He'll know what it means. This one says, "My long-lost friend for whom I cry." Do you have any idea where the rest of the song is?
Unfortunately not. We've been trying our best to look, despite the earthquakes happening recently.
Okay, enough earthquake talk. Tower time!
Isaac shoves the 3 of you out of the room, and you all decide to depart Zamidi towards the peak of the mountain, the place where Valiant Tower stands. As you climb the cliffs, everyone is oddly silent, all seemingly having the same worry. The worry that time is running out. But eventually you reach the peak, where a large lake stands. Valiant Tower situated upon an island in the center. An old stone bridge runs towards the entrance. Tristan is the first to step forward.
Whoa. I just got the strangest feeling. I feel like I know this place somehow. Like it's, calling me.
I've only felt the same way once before. This must be where we can find some answers.
You set off across the bridge, your friends soon following behind you. As you all enter the tower, it's suddenly bitter cold, even colder than the mountain you were just on. An ominous air lingers around the chamber you're all in. You hear footsteps approach. What are you doing here? Go away. In front of you stands a child. He seems to be around Tristan's age, maybe. Either way, you can't help but be unnerved by his presence.
We're, here to challenge the gym leader?
Gym battle? Don't tell me that you're the gym leader. Yes.
You, don't talk much, do you?
You. Would you like to battle? With that, Raphael takes a deep breath before pulling out a Pokeball and initiating his gym battle. Since Gideon isn't here, I suppose it's my time to explain that the gym leader Raphael uses both Ice and Dark types on his team, with the likes of Dewist and Vanillish, Ice-Q, Chillisk, Umbreon, and his ace aide Guy Frost. He gives us many stat debuffs and the power of a summoned snowstorm in order to take you off guard, but in the end you're able to defeat him. You're getting pretty good at this, huh?
Yeah, he sure is.
Raphael steps forward, now with something in his hand. He gestures for you to take it.
So, now that's done, Raphael, we need to see the top floor of the tower. The elderly couple in Zamidi said you'd explain Zamora to us?
Zamora? He turns around, gesturing for you to follow him upstairs.
Here goes nothing. Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
All of these Pokemon. I don't recognize any of them.
I recognize all of them. That's the legendary Pokemon Imparmony from the Ascos region. 20 years ago, she nearly brought ruin to her own region as her powers were stripped away by the spirit of an evil king. And she was helped by Dashakla, her brother. The evil king wanted to use Dashakla's powers to wipe out anybody who dared to stand against him, but his son, the prince, couldn't stand for such a thing, and so he fought back. Those two are Vanillush and Tahowal, the defenders of Ritho. They were forced into fighting a war against each other, Tahowal on the side of the Delawisian Empire and Vanillush on the side of Fritho. Many years later, 2 human children became their partners, ushering in a new era of peace to the region.
Hey, I know this one. That's Celestefowl. He is said to be Emparmene's protege, a Pokemon with the power of granting people a second chance at life. It's said that he traveled the region alongside Zanmora and a human known as Linus Brook.
Hey, wait! Is that a Meloetta? It looks different from what I remember. Isn't Meloetta supposed to be a Pokemon that can calm raging Pokemon with the power of her song? Wait a second. Does that mean before Zanmora was cursed? Was she a Meloetta? What's this Pokemon? I remember seeing a picture of this in the museum. Listen.
Listen? Like the planet Listen?
Yes and no. Here, read.
Valiquish was created by the Delwisian royals as a way of confining the Calamity Quintet, the Pokemon called Kothina, Kanoxi, Korask, Kowaka, and Kodemdia. In order to renew their seal, the help of a Meloetta was needed. She lies in wait within this very tower. However, the process that created Valiquish not only involved the sacrifice of Queen Aquila's own life, but it also left Valiquish angered and in constant agony. The royals were able to seal them away, but until Valiquish is separated into itself again, they will never stop rampaging.
Valiquish is in pain?
This changes everything. Valiquish. It's not a violent Pokemon. It doesn't want to destroy us.
Then why? Why would the royals let that cycle continue?
Our plan has changed. We're not banishing Valiquish back into the Infinity Well again. We're not going to repeat the past. We're going to bring back the Calamity Quintet.
I agree.
Same here.
I guess that would be the better option.
Hey, Raphael. You mentioned Lysin earlier. What does that Pokemon have to do with all of this?
I don't know. But it watches over everything with the all-seeing eye. That's the legend. Whoever built this place. They must have encountered Lysin, but they were never the same afterwards. The knowledge of the universe, it was too much to bear.
The knowledge of the universe? Whoa, that's, freaky.
It's just a story, but all stories have some truth behind them. You place the book back down on the pedestal as the 5 of you stand in silence for a while.
Tristan is right. Why would the royals let this happen in the first place?
Maybe they just thought that it was the best course of action? They couldn't have known the pain that they were putting Valiquish through.
Or maybe it wasn't actually them. Hello again. It seems like you've discovered the truth. Again, earlier than expected. What's your plan now?
I need to speak with Queen Claudia. She needs to know about this. Maybe with her and Prince Jeremy, we can put a stop to this cycle once and for all.
Hey, hang on. How did you know about this place? And how did you know we were here?
Who do you think built this place? So that's why you're here? That legend about Listen, that person was you? Maybe it was once, but yes, if that's what you want to believe, there's no harm in you knowing now.
So that's why you've been so strange. You saw the universe?
It's complicated. Perhaps I'll tell that story at a later point. Now, could you all depart this place? It's very sentimental to me, and I can't have certain people poisoning this place. Geez, sorry, well get out of your hair. Audrey, dear, I don't mean you. I meant Emmet. Oh, and before you go, if you wish to speak to the Queen, perhaps talking to Admiral Lopez would be a good place to start. I hear they're on good terms with each other.
Let's just go.
Emmet, what did you do to get that guy to not like you?
Yeah, I thought you two knew each other?
We don't. I have no idea who they are. They just keep following me.
Well, my mom is gonna be really excited once I tell her about how I helped defeat Valiquish. She's, pretty obsessed with these Pokemon in Paldea called the Treasures of Ruin.
Have you guys seen that prison video that song someone made about those guys? I can't believe how popular that got.
The four of you laugh as you depart down Route 7 and hopefully towards warmer weather. You pass many Ice-type Pokemon, hikers and snowboarders before finally entering the town of Iklil. The streets are bustling with activity as many stalls are set up, selling various wares from across the globe. However, what really grabs your attention is the giant cruise ship docked at the end of the pier. Well, that's the gym building. Emmett, do you, want any help in there? 'Cause, like, my mom's the champion, so maybe with the both of us—
No! Wouldn't it be best for Emmet to go with me?
And why's that?
Well, you already spent time with him in Graphias. I think I should challenge the gym with him.
Wanna prove it? How about this? We tag battle right here, right now. And, Tristan, if you wouldn't mind pairing up with one of us.
Okay?
If you want to prove how good you and Emmet are together, then battle me and Tristan.
Wait, I get paired with you? Wouldn't it be more fair if I—
Tristan gets interrupted as Audrey initiates the battle, pairing you and Isaac against Audrey and Tristan in a tag battle. As your partner, Isaac uses Powder Drench and an Opper Stone, and on the opponent's side, Audrey has a Chris Cowdy and a Cos Crash, and Tristan has a Meowscarada and a Tibby Melt. In the end, you and Isaac come out on top as Audrey smiles awkwardly and Tristan looks slightly dazed. Guess your point's proven. Good luck against the Admiral.
Whoa! I've never been in a battle like that before.
Well, Tristan, we'll wait for these two, then head to Showler.
Okay. See you guys later.
As you and Isaac approach the gym, you notice something odd. On the side of the ship is her name, HRDM Stern. A royal ship. You decide to ignore that for now. As you enter, you're met by Gideon.
Oh hey, it's you! We didn't see you in Zamidi.
Yeah, that's cause I lost my camera and called her a cave. And Zamidi freaks me out.
Wait, didn't you pick up a camera earlier?
Oh, you found it! Oh my goodness, thank you! I don't know how I can ever repay you. Here, how about this?
Isn't one of those really rare?
Yeah, there was this weird Galarian guy here who was selling them at the market here a few weeks ago. It cost me a lot of money to get that. Now, back to your regularly scheduled gym guiding. There's actually 2 gym leaders here. This whole joint enjoys double battle. Of course, there's the old Admiral, but there's also her granddaughter, Daniela. They both use water and steel-type Pokemon.
Ah, good thing we came prepared then. Me and Emmet will be taking on the gym together.
Is that so? Good luck then, you two. Aim to be a champion.
The gym/cruise ship is filled with passengers and crew members alike who are all itching for a battle. They all use water-type Pokemon, including one who fights with a giant Wailord out on the balcony. After making your way through the confusing layout of the cruise ship and getting vague clues from the several trainers, you're able to navigate yourself towards the captain's quarters. You knock before entering to be polite before walking in. You're met by a pretty quaint room that doesn't really look like a traditional captain's room. In fact, it looks like a living room that came right out of the 1960s. There's a cool lampshade, what looks like a mini fridge, and even a large fish tank with a sea king swimming around in it. Nearby, you see an old woman sitting on the sofa as she's drinking something. Next to her sits a younger girl with a seal on her lap. The girl looks up first and smiles.
Oh, man! Challengers!
Ugh. Let's get this over with then. My eyes must be playing tricks on me today. You don't know who I am by now? My name is Adelina Lopez. That's Admiral Lopez to you. I lived in this region for nearly 100 years now, so I don't take kindly to... your generation.
Nan, be nice! Don't mind her. She means well, really.
Heh. Try not to make this boring, kids.
With that, the two of you are directing to a battle against the final gym leaders, the pair of Adelina and Daniela Lopez. On their team, they use the pairs of the Whistle Noctowl and Menemeow, 2B Capin, and their aces, a Nautilodon and an Ankitread. After the battle, Daniela smiles proudly whilst Adelina glares to the side.
Now, here's your thingy.
Wait, Stern?
I couldn't help but notice the name of this ship. HRDM Stern? That's the name of the gym disc too, right? What's the story behind this place? If you don't mind me asking.
You actually paid attention to that? I can't remember the last time somebody has asked me to share that story. Ah, to heck with it. Come on, kids, sit down and let Adelina tell you a story.
Now you've got her started. Though, maybe this is for the best. She doesn't talk to many people besides me and the Queen.
So Admiral, you know the Queen?
Yes, me and her talk often, but about the Stern. Back when I was a wee whippersnapper, I fought them tooth and nail for the respect of my peers. And then one day, joke's on them, I became the most feared admiral the Edelweiss Navy had ever seen. Of course, I can't entirely take credit for that.
Yep. That's when Lorena Coop came along, right?
Yes, Lori. She was carving out a new path for people like me. But then, she decided to up and disappear. For good reason. I wish I did so sooner. Edelweiss became a pretty chaotic place after she left. It only really went back to normal after he died.
You mean King Fabio?
Not him. Nicholas Mata.
Nicholas Mata?
He was King Fabio's right-hand man. It's said that he had a lot of control over Edelweiss. Maybe even more than Fabio himself did. Rumors say that he was behind Fabio's murder, too. A few years ago, there was a scandal, too, about how he would... Well, let's just say that he hurt a lot of other people in order to get his position. And one of those people was Lorena Coop, who fled Edelweiss, settling down in the faraway Fritho region and changing her identity. His reputation was ruined afterwards, and he disappeared from the public eye.
Though, I still hear whispers. Some people believe he's still out there somewhere, waiting for a time to strike. He was always a fan of waiting. But that's all alleged. Either way, Edelweiss is finally on the right track thanks to our new queen. She's made it her mission to make up for her father's mistakes.
Not to interrupt, but why are you telling us this?
You asked about Queen Claudia, didn't you? I'm telling you what I know.
You did get a bit sidetracked, though.
Admiral, I need to talk to Claudia. I'm worried about her. She's, well, my cousin.
Wait, what?
So that's why you seemed familiar. You're Lori's.
Yeah, long story short, my father is supposed to be the king of Ascos. He's Larsa Latimer. King Fabio Aviz was his father's cousin.
Whoa, hang on. You're royalty. Should I be calling you Prince Emmet?
Please, don't.
Sorry, but I guess I understand why you want to talk with Claudia now. Do you really think she'll listen to you? I mean, have you even met?
No, but I'm sure she'll understand.
Well, I'm worried about the queen too. So here you go, young prince. She trusts me the most. So show this to her castle guards and they should let you inside. Oh, and here. The professor told me you were looking for these.
This one says, but now it seems my tears near dry.
Isaac, I hope you understand that this doesn't include you. This is something that Prince Emmet needs to do on his own.
Please, don't call me Prince.
With that, the two of you depart this cruise ship, Isaac still seeming aloof as he tries to process the bombshell you just dropped. But you've never really seen your technical princehood as a big deal. It's just useful to have such a thing in a time like this. On that note, you and Isaac reconvene with Tristan and Audrey. So, any luck?
Yeah, the Admiral's gonna help me out. But There's something I need to ask you guys to do. You can't come with me for this.
What? Why not?
Because Emmet is the Prince of the Escos region.
He's what?
That's how Isaac reacted too.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Claudia's his cousin or something, right?
Hey, could you ask if she's single? Just in case things with me and Amelia don't work out. Actually, ignore what I just said.
Thanks for all the help, guys. You should focus on talking to Borealis. Or at least what's left of them. If all else fails, we need their help.
Right, I'll start by talking to my dad. Tristan, you should come too.
Okay?
And I'll talk to my mum. Emmet, meet us in... let's say Zuba.
Isaac, Audrey, and Tristan all wave you goodbye, leaving you alone for the first time in a while. But you know what you must do. So you journey up Route 10 and towards Shaoler, the location of the new royal palace. You're a mixture of nervous and excited. Being a royal is something your father never really talked much about, but now here is a chance for you to learn about the cousin you never knew you had. Part of you does wonder why Claudia was never included in the family tree discussions. Perhaps she herself might know the answer to that. After traversing Route 10, you find yourself within Shaoler. The streets are lined with Team Paragon memorabilia, the Royal Crest. Several members of the Queen's Knights are patrolling the streets, chatting casually to one another. Making your way through the crowd, you eventually stand at the foot of Aviz Castle, a grand palace only fit for a queen. At the door stands not a knight, but Prince Penasco. Or was it Jeremy?
Emmet, what brings you all the way here? Oh, hey, this is addressed to my sister. You don't mind if I take a peek, do you? Let's see. Hello, Claudia. Prince of Ascos. Emmet! Prince Emmet! It's truly an honor!
Jeremy, shut the door! You're letting all the cold in!
In a minute! Okay, Your Highness, let's get you two introduced.
As you enter, you spot Claudia sitting down at her throne, which sits on a raised platform. A Pega stands by her side. She looks surprised. Jeremy, who is this?
Your Majesty, I'd like to introduce you to Prince Emmet of the Ascos region.
Prince? Really?
It's, true. Admiral Lopez sent me here. She wrote me an invitation just in case you didn't—
Well, this is quite a surprise! Emmet, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As you might already know, I am Queen Claudia of Edelweiss. What brings you here to this region? Good question. You felt cold before. Was it because of Claudia?
My dad suggested I come here, though he never mentioned you.
Ah, yes, I suppose you must be wondering why that is. Emmet, and Jeremy, too. Let us all discuss this further over some dinner. You, Claudia, and Jeremy are all sitting down in front of a grand feast. There's all sorts of foods you've never even seen before, and you're very tempted to tuck in. But you know your manners and look over at Claudia, waiting for her to begin eating. She looks a little flustered as she notices you looking at her. Oh? Please, go ahead, Emmet. You're the guest here. You take that as permission and start to dig in. It all tastes amazing, and clearly a lot of time and effort has been put into the various dishes. Claudia politely watches as you finish up. Well, aren't you hungry? It's alright, Emmet. Your silence tells me everything I need to know. If you're quiet, you must be enjoying it. At least that's what Nick used to say.
Nick?
Well, I guess I'll explain for the Queen. You see, the reason why Claudia's never mentioned is... well, she's Fabio's illegitimate daughter. Fabio saw her as a disgrace, and so she abandoned her shortly after she was born. If it wasn't for Nick, she would have never found out about her royal heritage. That's who our adoptive father was back when we were kids.
Ahem, yes, that is true. Nick taught us both how to be the best royals we could be once the time came. That time was supposed to be when we both turned 18, but he tragically passed away from a mysterious illness around 2 years ago. I've been ruling this region ever since.
You know, our father, by that I mean Nick, was sort of a secretive man. He never really talked about his past, but I overheard him sometimes, seemingly talking to himself about things. About plans that he had. Plans for revenge.
Jeremy?
Revenge against who? I don't know. Claudia here loves making him out to be this great person. But he had flaws, too. Flaws like lying to both of us about how we're—
That's enough, Panasco!
Don't call me that name.
Or what?
I'll tell him. I'll tell everyone who you really are.
Get out. Sorry about him. Siblings, am I right? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the food. How about I show you the ballroom? As you enter the ballroom, you're in awe of how large it is. Although, something feels slightly off. Perhaps the fact that the room is completely empty. Now, Emmet, I suppose you're a very strong trainer. If you've defeated the Admiral, that must mean you have all 8 of your gym discs. You, wouldn't mind having a battle with me, would you? You could probably tell of your encounters with my knights, but Jeremy isn't really the battling type. Don't hold back, okay? You oblige with the Queen's request as you take your positions. Claudia's team is actually pretty weak. It only consists of a Riolu, a Mawile, and a Rotorose. After you easily sweep her monotype team, she laughs awkwardly. Do you know how to dance, Emmet? You wouldn't mind indulging me, would you?
I've never danced before.
Don't worry, it's easy. I'll lead, okay? See? You're a quick learner. You know, I don't usually dance all that often. All I really have is Jeremy, and well, he's a worse dancer than you.
Why were you two arguing earlier?
After Nick died, our relationship became a lot weaker. He dislikes Nick a lot, I think. But I still love him. I mean, he was our father. Maybe there was a bit of favoritism when we were growing up, but I believe that Nick was a good man.
You know, Fabio used to have a right-hand man.
Oh?
His name was Nicholas. Isn't that a funny coincidence?
I suppose it is. You know, it's quite lonely here. You should come visit more often.
Actually, I did want to talk about something important. You've surely heard about the earthquakes. You have the star medallion, right?
Of course I do. Why do you ask?
Because I think Valiquish is waking up again. And, I read this book.
About Meloetta! I already know all about that. I hear you've been looking for the parts of her song, too.
Who told you that?
The professor. Word spreads fast, you know. But Emmet, please don't worry about Valiquish. As Delos' queen, I already have a plan. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Making everyone worry is your plan?
You know, Emmet, it's been lovely talking to you, but I really must get going. I have some things I need to attend to.
It's, been great talking to you too.
I was being serious, by the way. You should visit more often. I'd love to get to know you better.
Yeah, it would be good for us to be friends.
Actually, I was wondering if you would maybe consider something more than friends?
What? Absolutely not!
Oh, come on, don't give me that look. You know, it's actually pretty common within royal families for them to—
I said no. I am not doing that.
Ah, well, that's a shame. Looks like you need a little more convincing then. How about this? If you were with me, you could learn what it's like to really be a royal. You could finally claim back your birthright. The kingdoms of Asgos and Delwis would reunify once again and—
Claudia, we are cousins!
Who am I kidding? Emmet, I'm not like that. Do you really think I would have asked you such a thing if I knew we were cousins?
Emmet! Thank goodness you're alright. I'll tell you what, Claudia has really gone crazy now. I was starting to suspect something, but this is a new low. Alright, you probably have a million questions, so I'll do my best to answer them all. And I'll have to be quick. I'm not really supposed to be here. So, what I was trying to tell you at the dinner table, Nick, Claudia's probably told you how much she looks up to him, but I know the truth, and so does Claudia. She just doesn't want to admit it. You see, the reason why Claudia was so immediately interested in you is because you have something she doesn't. You have royal blood.
Wait. Huh?
Which means that Claudia isn't the legitimate Queen of Edelweiss. She has 0 royal blood, and neither do I. We've been lying to everyone.
So, all of that was just so she could become more legit?
Mm-hmm. And now, she's really mad. I have the feeling that she's planning to do something drastic. When I came back here from Lesith, I told her everything. Then she smiled and said, I know what I'm doing. But she doesn't, and she never has. I'm worried she's gonna get herself hurt, or worse. The reason why she's presented herself as this person that's better than Fabio is because she wants to feel like she deserves to be queen. She wants to hide the fact that she's a fake, and she's so disillusioned with that she'll, well, you need to get out of here. You and your friends had a plan to stop Valiquish, right? Please, stop Valiquish. And please, stop my sister. Thank you. It means a lot. I have to go soon. Please, take these too.
You obtained several note scraps. They say, when you must live so far away, the pain I feel though I am still scared, and to share the pain I'm going through.
This was all I was able to gather. And as for the star medallion, I think Claudia must have it on her person. I can't find it anywhere. If you see me again, I'll probably be Panasco. If Valiquish awakens, I'll put everything I have into rallying the knights. We'll make sure that Edelweiss doesn't suffer another tragedy. Now, I'm not going to secretly lead you to the not secret exit, and you should not use that to escape. Do you get what I'm saying?
You give Jeremy a minute or so before you decide to move in the direction that he left, eventually spotting the back door to the castle. And immediately as you leave, you get a call on your Rotom phone from the professor. Hola, trainers! How goes the search for Zamora? We're getting close. Emmet's gone to talk with the Queen. Emmet, how did it go?
It didn't go too well. But I did end up finding more pieces of the song. The Paragon Knights are officially on our side.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad that Jeremy has turned around at least.
Who's Jeremy? Anyway, I have a reward for you through waiting in Zuba. I'll be there waiting if you wish to come along.
Can I come too?
Who's that?
I'm Tristan. I'm their friend, I think.
Well, the more the merrier. Remember, meet me in Zuba. Ciao, you four! Well, that went better than expected. Looking on the bright side, you did get a lot closer to your goal, but there's still the matter of the absent medallion. The medallion that you'll now probably never see. I thought I was imagining it before, but you can hear me. I was never able to hear, so perhaps I should be more careful with my words. This doesn't change anything, though. I may be predictable, but so are you. This will end my way. It's for the best.